Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I don't know if anyone wants to see, but I really want to make it because I've been loving watching videos that are like this. So I am really contemplating how I'm gonna do this, to be honest. So I want to do a kind of like makeup inventory video where I just basically show you what I have in terms of different categories of makeup. Not in terms of like a decluttering sense or anything like that, because that's not my thing. I don't really declutter ever. That's not like the content that I'm going to film, but I really just think it's so fun to show like just what you have in your collection, especially because I feel like sometimes my base products and other products kind of don't always get all the love that they should. And I was really inspired watching Audra at Home doing their version of this, just basically showing what they have in all of the different categories of makeup, and I really wanted to do it. I'm gonna link Audra's channel up here in the cards for you. Definitely go check them out because they're really great. So I'm just going to show you my base products today. For sure, like foundations, concealers, powders. I also thought that I might include just like bronzer, blush, and highlight in here, but I just don't know if that's going to be too long. So I'm going to start off doing like my base, and then we'll see how I feel afterwards. Maybe I'll do highlight and blush in just a totally separate video. That might make a little bit more sense. And I'm going to do this in a series, I think, just doing like base. Maybe I'll do blush and highlighter in and of themselves because I do have a fair amount of those, and then culminate it all in eyeshadow palettes at the end. And I'll also probably do like, maybe I'll combine lipsticks and like miscellaneous eye products and single shadows in one. I'm just kind of trying to organize it in terms of like what makes sense to me. So yeah, let me know if you want this to happen. I think it's just going to, but let's just jump into it. So yeah, I'm going to just, like I said, start off with base. So starting off with primers. The first primer that I have, this is like something, I've talked about this before. This is something that I use later in the day, like if I have waited a little bit after I've like washed and moisturized my face, if I'm doing my makeup later. This is the Vichy Mineral 89 Skin Fortifying Daily Booster. This is more of just like a hydrating product that really makes my skin feel like super hydrated and plump, and I really like the way makeup goes on top of it, and it's really great. It's a little pricey, but I've been really enjoying it. I also have two more traditional primers. So I have one mattifying primer. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I've talked about this a ton. This is my holy grail mattifying primer. I think this is like the third bottle or tube of this that I've gone through. I absolutely love it. And then I also have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a more recent purchase for me, and I like it, but I'm not like obsessed with it. I don't know that I would repurchase this once I'm finished it up, but I definitely will finish it up. And then I have one more like illuminated primer. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I use the shade 901 Fair Glow. I absolutely love this. I mix this in with my foundation almost like every single time I do my makeup. It's so nice, and it's a beautiful product also to just put all over your skin if I'm just like going out with no makeup on. Just makes your skin look more healthy. I absolutely love it. This is the second bottle that I've been through. So those are my face primers. I mean, oh, actually, this is a secret shame of mine. I also, in my primer drawer, have the Nivea Men Aftershave Balm. I bought this a long time ago when this was like really hyped up, and for a long time I did really love this. I actually used up an entire bottle. I would use it like every day. It smells like fully a man. But now I don't really like it. It very much feels just like, I don't love the way my makeup applies on top of this anymore, and I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest. But it's in here. It's in here. This is a fucking throwback product. So that's it for my primers. So I have basically 4 primers. I mean, I guess 5 if you're counting the Nivea one. And I feel good about that. I don't feel like I have an excess of anything. In terms of eye primers, I have my NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is my holy grail eyeshadow primer. I use this literally every day. I swear by this. I can't even tell you how many tubes of this I've gone through because I've gone through a ton of these. It's pricey, but worth it in my opinion. And then I also have the Essence Glitter. Whoa. My hands just stopped working. I have the Essence Glitter Primer. I've used this a handful of times. I got this a while ago. Something tells me it's probably, yeah, this is expired. So, or at least it's separated. I don't think this is good anymore. So I'm honestly probably just gonna throw this out. I don't use glitter primers that much. To be honest, I just wet my shadows with water and I feel like that works well enough. I'm not a big glitter primer user, but I also don't remember being wowed by this in the first place, so I have this, but I'm going to throw it out right now. So I guess I have 2 eyeshadow primers, but now it's just 1 because I'm throwing that Essence one out. So let's just go into foundation. I've actually used, over the past year, used up a ton of my foundations. I kind of wanted an unofficial foundation no-buy because I just wanted to use some of my older products up, so I'm contemplating using or getting a new foundation soon, and I'm excited about that. So right now I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I use the shade Porcelain. I like this. That's what I'm wearing today. It's fine. I'm almost done this actually. I'm kind of trying to use it up. I've had this for a while. It's okay. It does the job. It's pretty like a middle of the road foundation, but it's definitely not, I don't think I'm going to repurchase this. I don't love it enough to buy a whole another bottle of it. I also have the Revlon Color Stay foundation. This is the combination to oily one. I use the shade 110 Ivory. I absolutely adore this foundation. Revlon hasn't been the best recently with releasing inclusive color ranges in recent launches of their foundations. So I haven't been talking about this product that much on my channel, but I really, really do love it. I've loved this forever and ever and ever for so many years. This is probably my 3rd or 4th bottle of this. And this is also running pretty low. I also have the Ordinary Coverage Foundation. This is the shade 1.0N, Very Fair. I absolutely love this as well. It's such a good affordable foundation that I don't think gets enough praise. This is not the serum foundation. This is the coverage foundation. It's like a very beautiful medium coverage. It blends really well. It's a very natural finish. It's not overly dewy, but it's not super matte. I think this would work well with a ton of different skin types. And I believe their foundation range is pretty good. It's not like the best foundation range I've ever seen, but I think it does have a pretty good shade selection. And I've actually probably almost used up this whole bottle, and I would repurchase this. I also have the Maybelline Super Stay foundation. This is the shade 102 Fair Porcelain. I like this foundation a lot. It's something that I envision always kind of having in my collection just because it's so full coverage and it has such an amazing lasting power. Not an everyday one for me, but one that I do love this. Next, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I have the shade 101 Classic Ivory. I've recently fallen back into love with this foundation. Really beautiful, a beautiful just like matte foundation that's not too matte, has really a good lasting power. It's really nice. I really like this, and I'm also running low on this. I'm running low on a lot of my foundations. I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is in the shade 400 Pearl. I also really love this a lot. Again, a very middle of the road foundation, natural finish, medium, buildable to full coverage, lasts well. Very big fan of this. And then last but not least, I have the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I use the shade F1. Really love this. I love the tone of this. It's super neutral. I think it looks like really creamy on the skin. And I would also repurchase this. I think it's a really beautiful foundation as well. Actually all drugstore foundations that I have, and I'm happy with them all. But I feel like I'm in the market for a new one. Maybe when I finish the Wet n Wild foundation up, I'll buy a new foundation. For concealer, I don't have that many in my collection right now. I actually only have 3. So in terms of foundations, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 7 foundations. So I have 3 concealers, like I said. I have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade Shanti, always in my collection. I've talked about this all the time. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I also have the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I use the shade 05 Ivory. It's also a concealer that I pretty much always have in my collection. I use this all the time. It's a really beautiful, like, more luminous, lighter coverage concealer that's also affordable. And then I have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish. I have the shade Rose Fair, or Fair Rose. I've been enjoying this. This is what I'm wearing today. I think this is a really great full coverage concealer from the drugstore that's very affordable. And I'm very happy with those. I might buy another concealer that's high end, but I also am happy with the ones that I have now. I also, this is kind of random, I have these really old concealers that I actually probably should throw out, which I think also I'm going to after this video. These are the Makeup Designery correctors, and when I was in high school, I would love these so much. They were like, that just fell off. I thought they were like the best concealers for covering up like acne and stuff. They're very just like what you would imagine a traditional like creamy pot concealer to be. It's really like thick, and this is also just not the right shade for me. It's kind of super yellow. It's okay. I wouldn't say go out and buy it. It's definitely expired, so I'm going to throw it out. But when I was in high school, which is too long ago, okay, I'm 2 years out of my bachelor's degree. I haven't used these in like probably years and years and years and years, but it's something that just kind of got pushed to the back of my drawer, you know, like old gross products you have that you kind of forget you have. I'm going to throw these out. This is a throwback, but they're here. And then for powder, I have, let me see, so I have 2 loose powders here. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I use the shade 05 Fair. Another powder that's kind of a staple in my collection. I really love it, and it's affordable, so if I go through it, it's less of a burden for me to repurchase. And then I have the Beauty Bakery Flour Powder. I have the shade Rice. This is a white. It's what I'm wearing today. Really love this, and definitely would consider repurchasing it when I'm finished it. So I have 2 loose powders. Actually, technically I have 3. I also have the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. This is like a little sample size. It's been lasting me a long time. This is like an HD type of powder, like white, very fine, that will give you flashback in flash photography. I like to use this in my T-zone HD powders like this. I don't really struggle with flashback because my whole face is flashback, but it's fine. I don't know that I would repurchase another one of these HD powders once I use this up, but I have gone through a season of my life where I used to swear by these. And then I have 2 pressed powders. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder, This is 100 translucent. I like this. It's fine. Maybe I would repurchase it, but it's just okay. Like, it's nothing, it's not horrible. It's not amazing. I'm almost out of this. You can see I have hella pan. So I have a backup right now. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is the shade 012 Buff Beige, but to be honest, they don't really have any color payoff. I've used a ton of different shades in this. I just got this because I was at Dollarama, and this is like my favorite pressed powder. So I just got this as a backup. I paid $3.50 for this. Okay, and then I have two more like glowy, I guess, like finishing powder type things. So I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Ethereal Light. This I bought a long time ago, actually, just honestly completely on a whim. I do like it. I do not think it's worth the price, and I do not want to support or purchase from Hourglass ever again. So I definitely will just use it up. I think it's nice. That's it on that. And then I have the Wet n Wild's Color Icon Bronzer in the shade Reserve Your Cabana. This is honestly basically exactly the same as the Hourglass bronzer, or not bronzer, powder. This is also not a bronzer by any means. It's a very light, kind of like glowy powder. I have hit pin on it. I do like it. Apparently this is getting discontinued, so I might buy a backup just to have. But also this does only come in one shade, so this is not really the greatest either. But I do like having these types of like glowy-ish powders to use kind of as like a final finishing step. I really like the effect it gives my base. So I have two of those, and then I have one like setting spray. I have the Maybelline Glass Spray. I generally only have one setting spray at a time unless something goes very, very wrong. I like it. I think it's fine. It's not amazing. It's not horrible. It makes your base definitely glowy. It's like a glowy spray, but I wouldn't like recommend it if you're looking for a glowy spray necessarily. And so based on where we're at, I think I'm just going to go through my bronzers and then maybe do blush and highlight in a separate video, just because otherwise this video is going to be so long. So I have one contour powder. I have the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in medium. I've had this for so long. I've, again, hella pound on it. I use it every single day. I really like it. It adds just like a natural contour to your face without looking necessarily like you like contoured your face. It does only come in 3 shades, and this is medium, and I'm so fair and I use this, so meh. I may repurchase it one day in the future, but I've had it for so long that I am kind of just looking for something different perhaps. And then now let's just go into my bronzers. So this is actually basically done. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. This was another like gift with purchase or free sample or something. I did not pay for this. I'm using this today. This is fine. You can see like I have like just a few remnants around the edges, but it's basically all the way used up, and I think I'm going to just call it a day with this one and be done with it. I also have the Colourpop bronzer. This is the shade, I think, Private Party. I don't have it. It's in a compact. I don't have the like actual name of it on the back of this. It's fine. Again, it's not my favorite bronzer. It's not like my least favorite bronzer. It's just okay. And then I have the Sephora Collection Bronzing Powder. This is the shade Los Cabos. Again, I like it. I don't know if you can still get this or if it's in like a different line or under a different name or whatever. Again, it's fine. I really like the tone of it. It's a totally matte bronzer, but it's not super orange or doesn't lean any particular way in terms of undertone. It's pretty neutral, which I really like. I also have the Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter in the shade Be My Sunlight. I use this as a bronzer. Or you can use this as like a deeper highlighter. I actually really like this. There's only one shade of this, but I guess it is intended to be a highlight. But yeah, I like it. It's an affordable, like really glowy bronzer if you have fair skin. Then I have the the Technic Get Gorgeous Bronze Highlighting Powder. This is another like bronze highlighter that I use. This is pretty much just a bronzer topper because it is pretty glowy, but I think this is such a beautiful product. I really do like this a lot. And then I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is just in the shade Bronzer because they don't have very many shades of this. I have hit pan on this. I like it. I think I'm also going to try to use this up. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but basically I'm trying to use up most of the bronzers that I have that don't have very inclusive shade ranges, and then slowly just buy bronzers that have more extensive shade ranges, so I don't just have a ton of bronzers in my collection that are only going to work for people with light skin. Then I have the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth bronzer in the shade Into Sun. Love this. This is my favorite bronzer in my collection. It's amazing. I've talked about this before. It's so good. I can see myself using this entirely up and then repurchasing it. I also have the NYX California Beamin bronzer in the shade Free Spirit. I used this recently. It's a very glowy bronzer. I like it. I think it's nice. They do not have a very good shade range of this at all. It's very red toned as well. So I reach for this more, I would say, in the summer, but I don't really get that tan. So yeah. And then the last bronzer that I have is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It bronzer. And this is in the shade 01 Light. I actually really love this bronzer. I think it's super beautiful. Again, doesn't have a very good shade range, but I really love this. And I'm looking forward to using this up because I just can't wait to use it again, dip back into it after I've been using the Tarte one for so long. Let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything. I don't think so. Okay, and you know what? This is kind of in the base category as well. So I have two like Freckle products. This is the Kimchi Chic Beauty Candy Girl Freckle, and this says Afternoon in the Flower Field as the shade, but I'm pretty sure there's only one shade of this. I really like this. I've been using it basically every time I do my makeup. I am running low though, and the shipping isn't cheap to Canada from the Kimchi Beauty site, so I ended up getting Freck. I've never tried Freck before. I haven't used it yet because I'm trying to finish this all the way up before I open this one. This is Freck XL. I think they have one darker shade. This is like the lighter shade. I am excited to try this. I used $10 off using my Sephora points to get this. Originally it's $37 Canadian. I got this for $27 Canadian, which is still too much fucking money to pay for this, but it's super hyped, so I'm excited to use it, and it would have been less money still than buying the Kimchi one, but we'll see. So I guess I have two Freckle products right now, but I have one actively on the go. All right, you guys, so this is it for my base slash bronzer, my base and bronzer makeup inventory. I really liked filming this. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Let me know if you want me to continue the series or if you like really fucking hate it. Both are valid opinions. Yeah, oh, let me tell you how many bronzers I have. So I have one contour product, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bronzers, which is fine, but one is also going in the garbage soon because I've used this to its death. Stay tuned for my blush and highlight video. That I'm excited to film that one. That's going to be a good one. And I did film this look. If you were wondering, it's coming in a video that will be coming to your YouTube subscription feeds hopefully shortly. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see from me, and I will see you next time. Bye!